Welcome back to your Bestie in Freight. I'm your host, Lida, the podcast where we break down what's actually working in logistics, freight brokerage, and the business of moving freight in the modern world. Today, I'm joined by my bestie, Edward Hark, a VP of Sales at ShipNova, a fast-growing Texas-based 3PL that's doing things differently. Edward has been in this industry for over 30 years. He started at XPO as a service center manager, moved to terminal manager, spent years as director of sales and marketing at Tazmanian Freight Systems, and got into ShipNova. So Edward, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you are here.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here. Thank you very much.
So Edward, you have been in freight since 1991. Most people don't stick around that long unless they genuinely love it. What kept you in this industry, and what does your path from service center manager to VP of sales actually look like from the inside?
Oh goodness, it's this industry has evolved. I never anticipated getting into transportation and logistics like many of us. Never planned that route, but I got an opportunity to work with XPO, which was Conway Southwest way back in the day, like you said, in 1991. And once I spent just a little bit of time in it, it was a grind, but it was a satisfaction, a happy grind. 32, 33 years later, we're still grinding and we're still going. It's a great business full of great people, and it's a very rewarding business as well. So it's been a journey, but it's still going, and it's been wonderful.
So let's talk about the sales performance. You have led sales teams at multiple companies, right? Different sizes and different models. What is the actual difference between a freight salesperson who builds a real book of business and the one who just spins their wheels for years and never breaks through?
Boy, that's a great question. And I've spent a lot of time talking with a lot of my peers and other people in the business about, how to be successful in this business. And it always comes down to relationships. It always comes down to communication. It comes down to trust and confidence. And for me, it was eye-opening that when I moved from the LTL world into the freight forwarding and supply chain side of things, it was a transaction, and then it became a relationship. So I stopped chasing transactions and I started chasing relationships. And that was the big difference. It was people have to know you and understand you and trust you and like you before they'll do business with you, rather than just trying to chase a transaction and try to just win a load just with a price. So for me, it's been make a friend first. And then after you establish trust and confidence, then you can do business with somebody. But you really can't do that until, you get that trust and relationship going.
Yes, I agree. What is the most common mistake you see 3PLs and freight brokerages make when they are trying to scale their sales operation?
Goodness, I would say, not having a good bridge between sales and operations. That's the old adage is, how do you properly make sure that sales is supporting ops and ops is supporting sales? It's, I learned a long time ago, each side has responsibility to the other. Sales has a responsibility to bring opportunities, and the operations side has a responsibility to bring good options and good value to the sales team and to customers. And that's been a big piece, is to make sure that your sales and your operations teams are well balanced, that they communicate and understand and appreciate one another, because that's really the only reason that you're going to see growth and you're going to be able to scale, is if you're moving together upwards at the same rate of speed.
I never heard this answer. That it makes really sense that without operation, sales cannot move forward, right? And without, of course, sales operations cannot move forward. Yes. So tell me more about ShipNova. You joined as a VP of sales. The company is growing fast and they are also using some AI tools like Vooma for order automation, and Navix for freight auditing.
This is an amazing company. I'm glad to be part of it.
Mm.
We're almost 4 years old. We've got a lot of AI, a lot of tech, but a lot of that AI and a lot of that tech is just it's in place really to help our people. It's not here to replace people. It's here to take some of the things that you know we can easily automate that will make our people's lives easier, more functional, more economical. So we're using tech to you know transform the current operations, the current sales efforts, and streamline them and make them a little bit faster, a little bit smoother, and a little bit quicker to market. Great company again, almost 4 years in business. We've grown from about 10 or 12 people to about 28 people over the last probably 11 or 12 months. We continue to see some great strides in growth. We spend a lot of time talking about hospitality, and usually you hear about hospitality in the restaurant and hotel business, but we're trying to generate that excitement, that hospitality on the transportation and supply chain side, and so far it's working out.
I've never heard about hospitality in transportation, so tell us more. What does it look in real life?
It's appreciation, it's understanding, it's empathy for our customers, it's empathy for our employees. There's a book. Hang on a second. Our owners found this book a couple years ago. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality, and we've kind of modeled our company after it because there's a lot of things that go along the lines of the restaurant business, the hotel hospitality business that we're really missing on the transportation and logistics and supply chain side. So we've kind of taken a lot from that book and we've tried to implement it in terms of the way we take care of our customers, the way we take care of our employees. It's going above and beyond in terms of customer service and hospitality.
Yes, I love it. So, what does a modern 3PL sales motion look like compared to what you were doing like 10, 15 years ago?
Boy, it's changed. It's changed in the last 5 years. It's over the last 30 years, it's been some monumental change. It's a little more specialized now. We've got some sales executives. We've got, of course, carrier sales folks. We've got straight operations folks. It's much more specialized, on the 3PL side right now. And a big piece of that is also working with our carrier partners. Of course, our salespeople are constantly evolving and working with our customers, but it's our operations side is constantly evolving and working with our carrier partners. We see them just as important as our customers because we can't get our business done if we can't get our carrier partners to take care of us. So it's really evolved, over just the last 10 years. It's gotten more specific. We've got a lot of very specific roles now that are geared towards the entire customer service experience.
Right. Right. Let's go back to when you just started in sales. Do you remember your first customer, how you landed it? And I know that's one of the most memorable things for everyone. I would love to hear your story.
It was a long time ago. It was in Henrietta, Texas. I was brand new to the terminal manager role up with Conway up in Wichita Falls, Texas, and I went out to make my first sales call of the day of my career up there, and I literally sat in the car for about 20 minutes before I could even get the nerve up, the courage up to open the car door, to even walk up to the door to go, make a friend and to make a presentation to my client. It was absolutely terrifying. And there are those moments now that you have some hesitation, but that car door only weighs a pound or two. You just have to have the courage to get out, to introduce yourself. There's going to be plenty of no's in this business, but every no that you get gets you closer to that next yes. there's going to be 9 no's before you get to a yes. So, just keep getting no's. Just collect all the no's, because the more you collect on the no's, the closer you get to another yes. But it was absolutely terrifying. But you have to have courage and faith in what you are, and who you're working for and what you're doing.
I love it. Actually, there is a book, I'm not sure about the author, but it is called Go for No. And it actually tells, like, yes, the more no's you get, the more closer to yes.
Absolutely.
Uh, do you think that because a lot of new freight brokers and people in sales are very hesitate, right, to make that phone call or to go visit the customer and to introduce themselves? Do you think it's what you say, or it is just being on the right time and having a favor on you? What is the thing that moves the sales forward, or it is combination for everything?
Yeah, there's a lot of luck to this. There's a lot of being in the right place at the right time. But I sincerely think it's a lot about effort. It's a lot of just putting yourself out there. It's a lot of just showing up. It's a lot of, just being courteous with people, respecting their time, being, communicating, in a way that shows respect to them. Um, it's, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I love it. There is this quote that says, I'm very lucky because the harder I work, the luckier I get, right?
There's a lot of luck to this business. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So let's go back to ShipNova. You guys focus heavily on transparency and personalized services. In a market where shippers have hundreds of options, how do you actually build the kind of relationship where a shipper chooses you every single time, even when someone else has a lower rate?
Great question. You know, we do a couple different things. We have some pretty good, thorough onboarding meetings, internally, before we even get started with a client. That way, when our client does just make a decision to do business with us, our operations team, our sales team, our leadership team clearly understands what that customer wants from day one. So it's a lot of communication ahead of time. There's a lot of pre-planning. Some of the things that we do, we're very diligent in terms of our communication. We're going to over communicate, probably. Somebody would probably come in and say that we over communicate. I think we do a phenomenal job of communication. We're going to send, live tracking links. You talk about transparency. We're not just tracking and tracing behind the scenes. We're giving our clients tracking links on every shipment that we handle. So there's no way that we can tell them that the truck's around the corner, because they know that the truck's not around the corner. They know exactly where the truck is at all times. So, we're honest. We have a lot of integrity. We communicate at a very high level, but we back it up with the transparency in terms of providing all those different tools for our customers. We give them access to our portals, our TMS portals, so they have 100% visibility to everything that we see on our side as well. So in terms of a price is great, but a price doesn't give the customer the trust and confidence that we are with the communication, with the tracking, and with the visibility in terms of our portals.
Yes, I love it. So, what are your target customers in ShipNova now?
That's a great question. We're uh, it's time sensitive, time
Mhm.
critical. Those are the things that we're going to excel at, because we have a model that's based on high communication. It's based on high trust and high confidence, high visibility as well. So we're going to, want to target those customers that can appreciate those things. So, if we've got a customer that's got a project kicking off where we have to have 5 or 6 trucks at 5 a.m. in the mornings, those are going to be some of our target customers, because we operate at a level where communication is high, strategic planning is high, and visibility and transparency is 100%. So anything that's time sensitive, time critical is something that's going to be good for us.
Yes. Right, let's get back to this new technology, right? Where do you see freight sales going in the next few years? Because we have a lot of automation, we have AI reshaping how loads get booked, right? How codes get generated and how relationships get managed. What does a new freight salesperson should do in 2026 and beyond to separate himself or herself from the crowd?
Wow. Yeah, that's a great question. Because yes, AI automation is making things. It's giving us it's giving us the illusion that we can reach a lot of people very quickly at a very high level. But I think for me, being genuine, being real, showing up, establishing trust and confidence with our clients is the biggest issue. So we have lots of tools where we can target our, the clients that need us the most, but the we can use those tools to target the right type of client. It's always going to be a relationship based business. I don't think anybody is really ever going to be comfortable with answering an email and giving them, your 100% trust in terms of doing business with you. I think
Mhm.
people still want to see people, if it's on a Teams call, if it's over a lunch, if it's over a coffee, people are still doing business with people. And
Yes.
people still want to see people. People want to be able to know who they're doing business with. They want to be able to establish that trust and confidence. So we have some amazing tools, and there's some great sales tools out there. But I think it's always going to come back to establishing relationships, making sure that people understand who you are, what you stand for, and that you're going to be available if they have a problem at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, that they're going to be able to reach out and get you and not necessarily talk to an AI bot per se. But, you know, there's tons of sales tools, tons of great ways to connect with people, but it's going to be, again, a relationship thing. Just connect with people and meet people.
Yes, I love it. And last big one before rapid fire question. So if someone is listening to this and they are running a small brokerage or 3PL, trying to grow their sales and they feel stuck, what is one thing they should fix, or what is one thing you would advise them to do that have the biggest impact?
If they're feeling stuck, boy, I learned this lesson years ago. It's probably network with people.
Hmm.
If you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things just aren't working out, reach out to your network. Try to communicate with your network. Try to build your network. Get out to some different events where you can start to meet people. I think when all is closing in, when you feel stuck, you feel like the world is kind of closing in on you. It's sort of like you just kind of want to open up and say, okay, how can I, get this unstuck feeling? And it's connect with people, go meet new people, go, reach out to your network and those kind of things. Because, you know, how many great opportunities have we always gotten from referrals? I think referrals are some of the best business that we've ever got, is when you have a satisfied customer who tells their friend to call you.
Mhm.
It happened this week to me. A friend of a friend called and reached out and said, I was suggested to call you. And reach out to your network, rely on your network, build your network, and help your network. That's a big thing too. Just don't be a receiver, be a giver. Reach out to your network and see how you can help other people as well.
Yes, I love it. Don't be a taker only,
Yes.
also give. I love it. Let's quickly mention my podcast sponsor, Digital Permit Book, the easiest way for carriers and tracking companies to manage their permits, credentials, and compliance documents all in one place. No more chasing paperwork, no more missing renewals. Digital Permit Book keeps your operation clean and moving. Check them out at digitalpermitbook.com. And I would love to ask you rapid fire question, no overthinking. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes.
Drive-in or flatbed?
Drive in.
Spot freight or contract freight?
Hot.
Fast growth or stable growth?
Stable.
High margin or high volume?
Oh, that's a toughie. No, never high margin, high volume.
New customers or repeat customers?
It's got to be a combination of both.
I was thinking you're gonna say that. Email or phone call?
Phone call, absolutely.
Relationship or rate?
Oh,
I know the
relationship
answer.
all day.
Automation or manual control?
It's got to be both, but there's so much automation now. I'll say automation.
I love it, Edward. Thank you so much. This was such a real conversation. And of course, 30 years of perspective packed in one episode. I love it. And for everyone listening, if you got value from this, please subscribe, share it with someone in logistics who needs to hear it, and leave us a review. And Edward, where can people find you and ShipNova if they want to connect?
Oh, wonderful. Simply it's ed at shipnova.com. That would be
And also on
the
LinkedIn,
best way.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. I will put all of the notes on the description. And thank you so much for being my bestie in freight today. And I will see you on the next one.